Hey, wow, we got somebody on there already. Hey, Bev.
Hi.
You are the first. That's so good. How you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Really good. I'm gonna pull up the, no, I'll do it after. I could do it now. Getting our screen ready, waiting for everyone to come on. There's a lot of people that will be watching the replay because they're working, but some of us are, have entrepreneurs and have more freedom. So they'll be on the call. We've got Sue here. Hey, Sue. Seeing old friends here on the call. This is great. I love it. We got Sue connecting to the audio.
Is Sue from Kelowna?
Yep.
You're not.
Hey, Sue.
Hi.
Well, how are you, David?
I'm gonna have to go on mute because I'm actually getting an IV and there's a whole bunch of people in the room, but I didn't want to miss.
Did Dr. Swetlikoff?
Nope. Emily, they have a IV lounge. It's just their prices are cheaper.
Oh, gotta find out about that because I have a lot of clients in the Okanagan. Hey, Genevieve.
Oh,
Yeah, it's always good to get connections. Find
yeah,
out who's
it's
good. Yeah.
it's called Nourish. It's a new IV clinic.
Mm.
I'll send it to you.
Yes, please. Yep. And we've got Genevieve coming on the line. And yeah, so we're going to start the training in about 3 minutes, and then I'll ask everyone to mute. And then if they want to ask a question, they can just raise their hand, or you can just raise your hand or just answer it in the chat. And if you need to leave early and you want to continue a conversation with me just directly, you can just comment me in the chat and we'll start a conversation so I can dive in deeper about your personal story and your goals. So I'll wait a few more minutes. I know Genevieve's probably walking right now because she's at work and she walks during her work break, lunch break. So I'll wait about 2 more minutes. Again, if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat or you can just raise your hand. We got Tracy on the line. Hey, Tracy.
It took me a few minutes. I'm like, oh my God, is it on Facebook? Is it where is it?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I lost it, but I got it.
Hopefully you guys got reminders in the email.
I believe I did, but
yeah. Good. We're busy people. We need lots of reminders. Yeah, so Genevieve is getting her steps, and of course she is. She's understanding the concept of NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is super powerful when it comes to boosting metabolism in an easy way. We just move throughout the day. So she's getting her steps, and that's good. Awesome, Saucy. We'll wait about maybe 1 more minute, and I'm actually going to get started with the training, which I'm really excited about. All about hormones. So what I was saying, Tracy, was once the training starts, we'll mute everybody. And then if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat or you can just raise your hand. Yep. Either one. And then if anyone needs to hop up early and they want like just a quick insight call with me, then in the chat, they can just write me and then I'll contact you and then we can start a conversation with where you are and where you want to go and how to get there quicker, faster.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll mute myself now so I don't forget.
Sue's very excited. That's good, Sue. I'm excited to see you. Like, guys are old friends. So I'm just going to share some information here. And we're actually going to get started with the training. So, all right. So today's training, the topic is hormonal weight gain, what causes it and how to lose it. So for those that don't know who I am or watching the replay, my name is Michelle Hart and I actually am a customized weight loss specialist. I've been doing this for over 2 decades. So today, what you're going to learn is you're going to learn about the hormones that cause weight gain. You're going to learn about the true causes of hormonal weight gain. And you're going to learn at the end of it how to balance your hormones so you can lose the weight and keep it off for life. So a little bit about me. I am a clinical nutritionist. I've been doing this a couple decades. What got me started was I had to fix my own self, and I did. I reversed osteoporosis. And so from that point on, I wanted to just share the truth about how to actually get healthy, because a lot of the information out there isn't true, and it's mainly about business and not about your health. There is some good information, but you really have to like sift through it. You have to know what to look for. And so once I was able to fix myself, then I thought, well, oh my gosh, like this is actually really easy. I want to share how easy it is if you follow the right steps. And so I went into clinical practice after I got a bunch of degrees, and I've been doing this for 2 decades in person for a while. And then now it's just all remote, so I can help people all around the world. I've worked with legends such as Bob Proctor. We did a book together. I wrote my own book. I wrote a pregnancy guide that I haven't published yet, but I've been told that I should, which is probably a good idea for the next generation to help them. Or if you have grandchildren, we really help them how to raise super children, super babies. And I've had a lot of coaches that actually I'm very blessed with who I learned from, because when I pulled it all together, I created a plan that is really easy to follow, and it works when it comes to weight loss and keeping it off for life. That's where I was. See, the problem with me before was, yeah, I figured out how to be thin and slim, but I did it the wrong way. I did it by starving. I literally did, because I didn't know what else to do, and I just wanted to be thin. And so here I thought, I'm super sexy, I'm thin, yeah, but I wasn't well. So that's not so good. It's not a really good trade-off. So I thought, well, I'm really tired of being tired. And I've developed a disease that I need to fix. So how do I eat, because I love food, and not gain weight? So I actually went on a journey to figure it out, and I did. I figured it all out. Now I can eat, and I'm going to show you how, so that you can get away from prison and get into freedom, eating foods that you love and still being slim and healthy. So I had my own personal story there. So if I can do it, you can do it. Just follow the steps that you're going to learn today, which are the game-changing ones. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Okay, so let's dive into the details here. So let's talk about the hormones that actually cause weight gain. What are they? Well, there's about 11 of them, but what are the main ones? Most people focus on the fat burning hormones. If you look at any articles, magazines, any kind of like information that you're looking at, they're always like, let's burn fat, let's burn fat. There's so much focus here, but actually we need to go to the fat storing hormones. Why? Because they send a stronger signal to the body than the fat burning. So if you can decrease that signal, bring this one up, it will naturally bring this up, but if you've got to bring this down because it's a stronger signal. So if you just focus on the burning ones, you're going to miss out on what's really going to work quickly and last for a long time. So we're actually going to focus on the fat storing hormones. We want to bring these down. Okay, we want to bring these down. And so what are they? Well, they're insulin. Okay, we want to bring insulin, we want to modulate insulin. We want to bring ghrelin down. That's the hunger hormone. And we need to bring cortisol down. We need to modulate these because oftentimes they're too high, and that's where the problem is. So we're going to really focus on this, because when you do, it will naturally manage this. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a deeper dive into the fat storing hormones so that we can get them balanced, so that you can feel balanced yourself and lose the weight and keep it off for life. So what are they? Cortisol. You probably heard about cortisol. What is cortisol? It's a stress hormone. It gets released anytime you're under stress. And it's really important because we do want this upregulated when we're under stress, because we need it has a role to play. So when you're under stress, you need more energy to like run from the line, think more quickly. So cortisol is great, but if it's too high for too long, that's a problem. All right. So we're going to dive a little bit more into cortisol, and I'm going to ask you a question. Do you ever wonder why? And I've been asked this myself, and so I figured out the answer. Why do some people, when they're stressed, they actually lose weight, but other people, when they're stressed, they actually gain weight? Do you ever wonder like why that happens? I did. I wondered why that happens. Like, why does that happen? Here's what happens. So what happens is when you're under stress, at the very start, cortisol goes up because that's your stress hormone. It has to go up because it's going to raise blood sugar. when you raise blood sugar, you're actually increasing energy in your body to run from the situation and save your life. So that's a very primal thing. It's very, very important. So as you get a stress response, cortisol goes up, blood sugar goes up. Anytime blood sugar goes up, well, insulin stays down. And the reason for that is because the body doesn't want insulin to go up, because if it stores the energy, you have less energy to run from the line. So your body is extremely wise. So again, at acute stress response, at the very start of the stress response, insulin is down and cortisol's up. When that happens, you are burning fat. You're like a fat burning machine. Woohoo! And you'll do that for the very start. Okay, for about an hour. And then what happens is after about an hour, the blood sugar is high, and then the body goes, well, we got to bring this blood sugar down, because otherwise it's going to cause damage to our blood vessels. And so it's so wise that it will raise insulin, a hormone, to bring blood sugar down. So anytime you raise insulin, you are storing fat. You are storing nutrients, but you're also storing fat. So now we have a fat storage situation. And then oftentimes, I don't know, but you could make this even worse by going, oh, I got to feel better. I got to feel better. After that stress response, I got to eat. So now we're like double raising insulin. So now you're really storing fat. Okay. So chronic stress is what leads to fat gain. That's the answer. So let's look at, you're maybe wondering, like, do I have chronic stress? Do I have like high cortisol levels like all the time? Maybe that's why I have all this extra weight. Well, let's figure it out. Because your signs and symptoms tell us what's going on in the body quite often. So if you have increased irritability and it doesn't go away, if you have high blood pressure and it's consistent, if you have muscle weakness and you feel weak all the time, if you have weight gain and you can't lose it and keep it off, if you have anxiety more than you need and it stays, if you have depression and you wonder why, okay, and if you're always tired, okay, those are signs that you're chronically stressed. High cortisol levels. So not only that, this is kind of, when it comes to health, it increases disease-causing genes. So you have a set of genes, the genome. It's really what signals are you telling the genes to do. So when you're under high cortisol, you're actually creating disease because it's a long-term stress. This will increase weight gain. This will impair insulin sensitivity. This will impair thyroid. Well, what is thyroid? It's one of our glands that's responsible for metabolism. So this will dysregulate thyroid so that your metabolism is going down. It's going to cause, you wonder why we have irritable bowel? A lot of it has to do with high cortisol because of stress. Natural killer cells. Most times if you're under stress for too long, don't you find you get sick a lot more often? Yeah, it's because of the high cortisol, right? And then what happened to me was the osteoporosis. I was under so much stress because I was starving myself that I actually developed osteoporosis because of my cortisol. Okay, so, it's pretty far reaching. Let's go on to our next fat storing hormone and dive a little bit deeper there. What is it? It's insulin. Okay, insulin. So with insulin, what happens is it leads to weight gain. And if we have insulin, if insulin is raised for too long because of high cortisol or maybe too many carbs for too long, then what happens is you have this high blood sugar situation where the insulin goes, we need to shuttle the blood sugar into the cell so it doesn't damage the blood vessels. Well, after a while, the cell membranes say, listen, like, I am so tired of you trying to put, blood sugar into the cell that I'm going to resist you. So that's called insulin resistance. That means that insulin's been elevated for too long, and then the cells become resistant. That leads to diabetes type 2. And if that doesn't get solved, then it leads to other things like heart disease, cancer, and full-blown diabetes. So insulin is something to really be looked at. You're wondering, well, do I have insulin resistance? Is my insulin levels too high? Is that the problem? Well, let's look at that. Sure, signs and symptoms include fatigue. Are you tired all the time? or maybe a roller coaster ride. So that would be one. Or you're feeling hungry when you really shouldn't be hungry. Why am I hungry all the time? Why do I have to eat every 2 hours? Weight gain. Why am I gaining weight and I can't lose it? Why can't I lose the weight? Why is my blood pressure high? Why, when I look at my blood work, my HDL is low? Why is that happening? And then again, blood work, it will show your fasting glucose levels too elevated, hemoglobin A1C over 5.1, which would also show that you're insulin resistant, and your triglyceride levels are too high. Those are blood fats. So we know that if you answered yes to a majority of these, yeah, you probably have insulin resistance. So we talked about cortisol, we talked about insulin. Now we're going to talk about number 3, which isn't talked about enough, but we need to talk about it. What is it? Ghrelin. Okay, I want to shine the light on ghrelin. So ghrelin is like, I always think of ghrelin like, grrr, I'm hungry. So that's how I remember what ghrelin does. Ghrelin's a hunger hormone. So it's super important because we need to be able to eat at certain times because the body needs nutrition, the body needs energy. So we need ghrelin. But if it's always raised, that's a problem. So if we're always hungry, that's a problem, okay? And why that's a problem is because if you're eating too much, you're going to gain weight and you'll have a hard time losing it. So you've got to make sure that ghrelin is raised only at the right time when the body is actually hungry, and that you stop when you're 80% full. So ghrelin is super important. You don't want to feel hungry all the time. You want to make sure that you're hungry when you're truly hungry and you stop when you're just full. That is absolutely critical to your weight loss success. And I did mention this to my personal clients who we meet every Monday. If I could put a billboard out there to help everyone in the world get healthy, it would be eat when you're truly hungry and stop when you're 80% full. If you just did that, you would be way better off. But things fall off the rails for so many reasons. And that's why people are overweight. They're eating too much or too little at the wrong time, but we have to get ghrelin working properly, okay? So those are the main hormones that cause you to have an inability to lose weight and keep it off for life, okay? So then we go, well, what is the answer to all this, right? So most people think, well, you know what? I'll just eat less and exercise more. That's the answer. That sounds like it would work, right? Well, it's not working because most people are overweight. In fact, 88% of the world's population is overweight. That means only 12% of the world's population is actually metabolically healthy. That's 1 in 10. And if you walk around, you can probably see that. And I really urge you to look at people. Like we need to turn things around, all right? Because what we're doing isn't working. And so this would typically be the answer. Oh, I'll just do a quick detox. I'll be fine. I'll just eat less and exercise more. I'll be fine. Well, you're not fine. Okay, that's not the answer. And the reason for that is the following. You're forcing the body to metabolically slow down. So you are slowing your metabolism down. That means that you are slowing your thyroid down. Your body is in conservation mode. If you're going to eat less, the body goes, oh, there's not much energy going on. I better slow everything down. Okay. It's also going to destroy your metabolic engine called muscle. So if you eat less and exercise more, you're just tearing down your muscle. That means you're tearing down your anti-aging organ called muscle. So you're going to age very quickly and you'll have a hard time losing weight and keeping it off for life. You're also going to cause fatigue. So don't you find when you eat less, like all the time, aren't you tired? Yeah, because you're not getting enough energy into the body and other things. So these are not good. This is not a good long-term approach. Short-term, if you're entering a contest and you need to be on a stage, yeah, we can do things like that and then we can fix it after. But really, if we want this, if you're a woman over 40 and you've been carrying this weight and you're tired of carrying the weight, but you don't want to like starve yourself and deprive, because who would ever want to do that? Then this would be a failed approach. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do other things. Sorry, I jumped ahead there. And if you keep doing that, you're actually going to cause weight gain. So that's not fun. That means you're going to create more fat cells and they're going to expand and you'll be inflaming more. So not only will you gain more weight if you follow this approach, which is eat less, exercise more, you're going to cause, you know, disease, because that's not the way we're meant to live. Dis-ease. So we're going to do something different here. Okay. And so if anyone here is watching this and the light bulb is going on, and you're looking at maybe going, yeah, actually, I'm so tired of trying to follow that approach. It's not working and it's not fun. And oh, I just feel horrible and all these kind of things. The program that you follow, because if you do want to, you want to make sure that they're following the 5 principles to healthy long-term weight loss. Okay, there's 5 principles that it must check the box for you to be successful. Okay, the first one is the weight loss program that you're going to put on, that you're going to go on, must include fat loss, not weight loss. Weight is just weight on the scale weight. That doesn't really tell you a lot. It tells you how strong your bones are, how much, you know, water weight you have, your last meal. It's weighing everything. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a good amount of fat, but not too much. And so if you're overweight and you're carrying that, you know, you can see that the tire around the middle, or it's around the hips, it's kind of sagging. You've got the cellulite, maybe you've got some back fat, which I hear a lot, maybe behind the triceps, you're not really happy. Well, that's extra fat, right? So you want to make sure that you start to melt that away. So your lifelong weight loss program must include actively burning fat at the same time building muscle, which is your metabolic enzyme. It must include that. It must also include not deliberately knuckle fisting your way to starve yourself to lose the weight. Because what are you doing? You're lowering your metabolism. The body's going to fight back and go, wait a minute, no, I'm going to hang on to everything that I have because I'm starving. Okay, so that is not good, because next time you start eating, it will rebound back and you will gain the weight, because the body goes, oh, good, we got some calories, we better hang on to those, and it will store it as fat, right? So we want to make sure that that's not the case. The next thing is, if you have cravings, I want carbs. I want meat, even though I'm vegan. I want some extra fat. You got to listen to these, right? They're telling you something. For example, it's low carb diets may not be the answer for you, right? So, because actually carbs are good and they're actually really important. So if you are craving sugar for some reason, eat some sweet potato, eat some yams, eat some, you know, vegetables that are maybe higher in that sweet, because the body says, listen, I need some more carbs. And did you know carbs actually support good thyroid function? If you're on a low carb diet for too long, your thyroid under functions. We don't want that, because everything in the body slows down. Libido, dry skin, constipation, moody, a laundry list of low thyroid, tired all the time, cold all the time, night sweats. These are horrible things. So we want to make sure that the eating plan that you're on is actually compatible to your body at the right time. So sometimes we actually do need carbs, the right type of carbs. And the program that I provide for my clients is the right amount of carbs, but also we want to think about adding the carbs in at the right time in the day. That's the other piece. So then when you do, so you're going to listen to your cravings, right? And you'll have less because the body's getting everything it needs. The other thing is, if you're on a vegan diet or vegetarian, you go like, I just want some meat. Why don't you eat the meat? If it's about ethical reasons, I understand that we can find replacements, but we have to listen to these carb cravings. All right. They're telling you something. It's a message. Fat, not all fat's bad. We need some, but we also don't need too much. So yes, this is important for you. Okay. Number 4, it can't be harmful to your health. Oh my gosh, clients come to me and they're ordering in shakes and like fake stuff. Powders that they add to water. These are my meal replacements. I get to eat 1 salad a day, but I need to take this powder added to water. Well, the first thing is, I understand that your goal is weight loss, but remember, you are a human being. That is made in a lab. If you're eating artificial, you're going to feel artificial. We need real food. We need to get back to real food. What is real food? Look around in your environment. Just think of a hunter and gatherer. Think of what they did. Okay, go to the farmer's market. That's real food. We need to get back to real food. The body knows what to do with that. All right. And then you're actually nourishing your body. You're taking care of your body. All right. And this is a healthy body gets to a healthy weight without depriving or starving. right? So I ran into that problem, and I'm just sharing with you, there is an easier, better way, and it's way more fun. So it needs to be healthy for you, and it must result in a faster metabolism. Why? I'd say here's the biggest reason why, I have to say. And just kind of, I always take a step back and go, what's going on in today's world? Why aren't we successful with our weight loss? Because in the modern world, wouldn't you find that you're just surrounded by temptation? There is food everywhere, and there's crappy food everywhere. And there is, I have to go here, I have to go there. Convenience foods, right? So you're going to be tempted a lot. And yes, most times you need to have that mental toughness. I'm going to make sure I stay on my plan. But sometimes don't you kind of want to like indulge a little bit? I know I do. So the faster your metabolism, more robust your metabolism, the more food you can eat, the more you can kind of like fall off the track a little bit, but still stay healthy. Because listen, like this isn't prison. This is meant to be a lifelong thing. You're meant to enjoy some of your wines, your chocolate, your bread, all these things. And there is a way to do it without, like, it's easy if you just follow the right steps. So I'm just letting you know, yes, you can. So the plan that you follow, please just make sure that you're boosting the metabolism. So those are the 5 principles to lifelong weight loss. Do they include balancing hormones? Oh yeah. Each one of these will be all about hormones, because hormones are cell signaling molecules. They dictate function. You want the function of keep the fat, burn the fat and keep it off at a good level. Keep building muscle, because otherwise you're going to lose it. And then make sure that you're providing nutrition to be able to handle well, the aging process. Because as you age, you are creating free radicals. You want to quench those with good nutrition and supply the body with good function. So each cell has what it needs to do what it needs to do. If a cell knows what it needs to do, the organ knows what it needs to do, the organ system knows what it needs to do, you're a whole being. That's a lot of information, but I'm sure there's some things in there that hopefully you can take. I tend to go rapid fire because there's a lot of information that I want to share. And if you have any questions, that's where the chat box is at. That's where the free call is at, even these kind of things. So it's good to question. So what are we going to do? We're going to get healthy. When you get healthy, the body just naturally loses weight and keeps it off for life, because we're actually designed to be healthy, right? And so for me, I'm like, okay, well, I like to cover all your bases so that you have complete success without any issues. So there are 9 steps to the program that I created. And each one of these is kind of going to cover all your bases, because it's not just diet. It's not just exercise. Okay. It's not just detox. There's also the mindset piece, but everything is all built into the system, right? It's super, super easy. But I'm letting you know the program that I provided here does cover all the bases. So I just want to share that with you. Now we're going to talk about a checklist. Checklists are always good. Like, let me check all the bases to make sure that I have my hormones balanced. Well, we're going to start with diet. What is the best hormone balancing diet? So without knowing you specifically, as a general rule, we're going to go through these 4 tips to help you with your diet. Now, it is ideally you want to have a personalized one, but this is in general to really, really help you. So you're going to want to think about what is the best hormone balancing diet? Well, what are we going to eat? Well, number 1, what we're going to eat is we're going to make sure we have enough protein. We have to prioritize protein. When you prioritize protein, you're going to actually modulate stress. You're going to keep insulin down, and you're going to make sure that ghrelin is managed, because it helps with satiety. It helps with satiety. It also helps to build muscle, and it has a lot of amino acids to rebuild the hormones. So you always want to think about, where is my protein? What's my protein? Number 1, always, always, always. And hey, if you're a vegetarian, combine grains and beans with some nuts and seeds. Just make sure that because you're having it every day, soaked and sprouted. Okay. But if you're having it once in a while, don't worry about soaking and sprouting unless you have a digestive issue that you're working on. But really, if you're a vegetarian, it's mandatory. You must soak and sprout your grains, nuts, and seeds. Otherwise, they are full of defense systems called gut irritants, and you wonder why you're not where you want to be. Yeah, because they have a defense system that you need to disarm. Okay, and it's super easy. So anyways, that's the first piece. Second piece is how to eat. So how to eat is you need to be calm. This is the hard part, I know, because we're so busy. I get it. We want to take care of everybody, and I do too. But we also have to take care of ourselves, right? So that we can take care of others, and also we deserve it. So we are going to make sure that we are in a calm state, parasympathetic. If not, again, we're sympathetic, and what does that do? Eventually raises insulin and cortisol, and you're gaining weight. I'm eating well, I'm exercising well. Why am I gaining weight? Because I'm stressed. So here's the thing, it matters. So I always say, like, I have a family, and raising a healthy family is absolutely like one of the top of the ladders for me. And we always put the phone to bed. Anytime we eat, phone's off the table. That's the number one. Electronics away. Even if it's on the table, you're still thinking about the phone. You're not really thinking about mindfully eating and being calm. It's stressing you out. So we love electronics. Like, you're listening to me, which is super awesome. But we know that it's a tool, and we need to actually do digital detox. We need to take steps away, especially when you're eating. So eating in front of the TV, no bueno. Phone on the table, no bueno. Light the candle, put the ambient music on, get rid of all the distractions, and get a book. Just go back to the basics. And that's what I do most of the time. Okay, 80%, probably 90, 80. But we always put the phones to bed because I also want to be a good role model to my kids, and I'm teaching them about health by doing these things. So that's them. When to eat. Okay, again, when to eat. Eat when you're hungry, stop when you're 8% full. If we don't pay attention to that, you will not be successful because you're eating out of boredom or out of emotional, I just want to feel good. Yeah, well, you're not really taking care of yourself, because you're going to wear it forever. It's going to taste good for 5 minutes, and you're going to always wear it. That's not a good trade-off. So we're going to make sure, am I truly hungry? I'm just going to eat. That's it. Eat till you're 8% full. Oh, good. Why do you eat? For nourishment. You're eating for nourishment. You're not eating to lose weight. You're eating to nourish the body. You're eating to be healthy. Okay. Detox. Yeah, this is something that we is new, because here's the thing, like 50 years ago, we didn't have to do this. We didn't have to do this. We could have just done some, we didn't have to actively go after the toxins that are sitting in our cells. We do now. If you look to see how many toxins they're pumping out on us, oh my God, they're everywhere. 350,000 chemicals. And a lot of them we put on our skin, like beauty stuff, I don't know, creams and stuff. If you actually look at what's in there, and you really knew what was in there that you're putting on every day that's going systemically into your body, you wouldn't want to do that. Over time, a lot of them are cancer causing. Do you think that you're protected? No, you're not. You're not. And you may think you are, but really we're not. A lot of what's going on is about business and not about your health, because if we're not healthy, they get better business. And so unfortunately that's the case. So we need to just know that's happening. And we actively need to go listen, like, right. And these are hormone disrupting chemicals. One of them would be xenoestrogens, plastics. Out of plastic, like water out of plastic bottles, you're just asking to get this tire around here, because this is where you're going to carry it, is the extra estrogen. Hot flashes is another one. So we need to get these toxins out. And it's not just a 7-day detox. That is not going to work in the modern world. No, maybe 50 years ago. Yeah, that would have worked great. Like a juice fast, no problem at all, but not now. No, these toxins are heavy metals, and they're plastics. And not only that, we know Environmental Working Group, they actually did a study, and they found the umbilical cords of babies. We're born toxic now. Okay, I'm not scaring you, but I'm letting you know the truth. 225 different chemicals every baby is born with, and they're plastics and heavy metals. Why? Because it's in the soil, it's in the air, it's in the food. It's in everything. And I can share a lot of studies on this, right? So if we want to actually actively take care of our bodies, we need to actively do an intercellular detox. So let me give you some tips right now. So the 4 tips that will help you today, and if you want to explore some like intracellular detox, going in the cell to get the cell well, to purify the cell, then you can get a hold of me, especially if you've had any shots at all. It's It's mandatory. So what to detox? Okay, well, the organs of elimination. We are detoxification pathways. What are they? Liver. Liver is our main organ of detoxification. Liver filters out the fat soluble toxins. Okay, that is number one, liver. Number two, kidney. Any overspill from the liver goes into the kidney. Kidney filters out the water soluble toxins, the acid toxins. You're in pain, you have acid, the kidneys need support. You have high blood pressure, and for sure the kidneys. So the kidneys are suffering. Heavy metal toxicity, again, kidneys. So we work on the liver, we work on the kidney. And then the third one is we work on the gut. So those three areas I always like focus on. Get them working again, purify these, because you can. Right? You can purify these. And then if you have a respiratory issue, that's another emunctory. You want to add in something for the lungs. Okay. Because you can clear out the toxins from the lungs as well. And you can, yes, can you reverse asthma and allergies? Absolutely. I've done it many, 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 many times. It's not even difficult if you do the right things. So if you're suffering with actually most things, we can clear this out by following the right steps. So that's what we're going to detox. How to detox? Well, there would be initially you want to do a good solid foundation, do it right the first time and cover all your bases, and then just do spring and fall, just quick little tune up because you've already done the first bit, right? This is the best way to do it. When to detox? Spring and fall after you've done the initial foundation. Why to detox? Because toxins are stopping your body from being healthy. Toxins are actually what is driving inflammation. Inflammation drives weight gain. You're getting right to the root cause. So we clear out the toxins while we don't put them in. So part of the detox is also knowing where the toxins are coming from. And you also get a sheet. This is super easy. I do cheat sheets for everybody. Here's your framework to detox. Here's your cheat sheet not to put it in. You'd be surprised that most people don't know even where they're coming from. And it's not even your fault. It's programming. Because again, it's about business, not about your health. So one of them would be clean water. You want to make sure your water is reverse osmosis. You want to get a HEPA filter. You want to make sure you're drinking clean air. Those would be two really, really important ones. So we talked about detox, and then the next one we're going to talk about daily routine. Yeah. So we want to make sure we're take a deep breath. We need to get back into just like chilling, getting our self-care back, taking care of ourselves, circadian rhythm. How many people here have a hard time sleeping? Because the daily routine is off, and it's not your fault. You want to take care of everybody. I totally understand that. Hey, I get it. And we want to do that, but we also need to take care of ourselves. So we need to put ourselves first. It's difficult, but just a little bit of yourself will be able to take care of other people too. And wow, you will feel the difference. You'll be like, wow, hey, I can take care of them even better because I'm taking care of myself. Hey, I'm the role model. They're watching somebody take care of themselves. Maybe they'll start taking care of themselves too. And then their kids will start taking care of themselves. So we have to break the paradigm of sacrifice and get into actually, no, we matter too. So daily routine is what's going to get your hormones back into balance. Because yes, it is hormonal, primarily cortisol and melatonin. And so these are critical for energy during the day and like get up and go and do all the things you want to do. And then, oh, it's time for my beauty sleep. And you go to bed and you wake up 9 hours later and you go, wow, that was great. I feel like I was at the spa. And then do it again. Oh, this is great. And then you get to look in the mirror and go, wow, like my wrinkles are going away. Oh no, like they will, because you're reversing aging. Oh, wow. I look in the mirror and go, well, that was easy. Now, like, I don't have this belly fat anymore because I'm not as stressed. I'm managing my stress better because I'm getting better sleep. Oh, and wow, I handled that conversation with my partner better. Oh, thank God, because I love him so much. And sometimes I say things that I shouldn't say, and I feel really bad about that. Guilt, 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 shame, shame, shame. That all goes away. And also like, oh, I'm so tired. I just want to grab the chips. I'm so tired. I just want to grab the, jelly beans or whatever, I just want to feel good. That goes away too, because you don't want that. Because you go, wait a minute. No, I feel great. I don't need that. I want to go hit the gym. And I want to get built some muscle. Oh yeah. I want to go for a walk. That's the way, but I want to create that project I've been wanting to create for so long. I want to go play with my grandkids because now I have all this energy, right? I want to be with my partner and really be mindful with him and actually show him that I care. have that connection. So these are big deals. Do you think it's weight loss? It's a life-changing thing that where you're able to enjoy the life that you want. How are we going to do this? What to do? Well, the first thing we're going to do is make sure the morning sunlight. Within 30 minutes, get out and get the morning sunlight. And this does mean putting your glasses on top of your head. Why? Because as soon as you walk outside, you tell the body to go, oh, it's time to raise cortisol. It's time to get things going. It's time to be productive, but you have to raise cortisol for that. And as you raise cortisol, then melatonin that you've had overnight goes down. Okay. And so you're raising cortisol. You're telling the body what time of day it is. You are, believe it or not, like this is insane. Your body's so intelligent. It will start to make gut bugs. That's the microbiome. That means the bacteria in your gut. It will start to create the bugs that it knows the food in your environment. As soon as you walk outside, the body does the surveillance and goes, oh, this is the food that's in my environment. I'm going to start to grow the bugs to break down the food that it senses in your environment. That's how intelligent your body is. It is so intelligent. So going outside gives you the energy to raise the cortisol. Not only it creates these bugs, thinking that you're going to be eating food within the environment, and it's going to raise two very important neurotransmitters. What are they? Serotonin and dopamine. Serotonin is happy mood. Woo woo. We don't need the SSRIs. We just need to get outside in the sun. That's free, and that's not. And that's also not solving the problem. Dopamine, so dopamine hit. Like on the Facebook, right? Sugar, dopamine hit. We don't need to do that. We can just go outside and get a dopamine hit. What's dopamine hit? I am motivated to take on the world. That's a dopamine hit. Going outside in the sun is going to give you the dopamine hit. It's all free and it's all what we're supposed to do. How are we going to do that? First thing in the morning, put it in your schedule. 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. That's all you need. 5 minutes. You're going to have the best day ever. Get outside, get the morning sunlight. And then the other thing is when to do it. We talked about morning. The other thing, why to do it, because we talked about what it does in the body. But the same thing is here you've done all this work to go outside. You got the morning sunlight. You're raising cortisol. You're doing your thing during your happy mood. At night, what you don't want to do is destroy everything that you've just created, which is the artificial light. Because here you are, you're outside getting natural light, telling the body exactly what time of day it is. Now it's nighttime, and you put the artificial light on, the body goes, oh, okay, well, it's 12 o'clock during the day. Let's get up and go. Let's eat. No, you should be sleeping. So that's why 2 hours before bed, you've got to dim it down, put the red light on. It's kind of sexy. It makes the room look good too. And wear blue light blocking glasses. And if anyone needs a good pair, I could recommend them. Yes, I have a really good source and a discount. So blue light blocking glasses. We want red light, orange light that does not disturb the circadian rhythm, but the blue light does. The blue light says it's 12 o'clock during the day. Okay, so that means screens. So if you like to have screens, just have blue light blocking glasses. Or just go, you know what? I'm actually going to read a book. I'm going to read a book instead of looking at a screen. And I'm going to change my lifestyle just by doing that. And I'm going to just have a little flashlight. That's what I do. And sometimes I work, yeah, but I have blue light blocking glasses. Okay. If you just did that, oh my gosh, your life would turn around like you have no idea. And this will save you money because you won't be buying medication. You'll be getting more done. Okay. In less time, right? You're going to feel great. And you're going to look in the mirror and go, wow, my weight's melting off. Yeah, because you're getting healthy. This is healthy. So that's why we're going to do it. Well, that's a lot of information. And that's 45 minutes. You guys are still on here. Must be information that is obviously valuable. So if anyone here has a question, I'm here to answer it. And if you don't want to ask it here, you can send me, just put me here and we can connect, or here's my email and it's the correct one. We can shoot me an email and we can just have a quick chat and see where you're at, what kind of questions you have, and see where it goes from there. So I'm open to questions now if anyone has any. Okay, so let's go. There's a few here. So Genevieve's to getting your steps in. Sue is excited. Hopefully she's still excited. Hopefully this was helpful to you. Does this apply to men as well? Okay, so let me think. Okay, so here's the thing with men. Okay, women are more emotionally tied to are more hormonally tied to the environment than men. So we have to be more vigilant than men. And the reason for that is because we bear children and we have mitochondria DNA, they do not. So we are actually more tied to the environment and the environmental signals, that means outside, than men. So it's more important for us than men. However, having said that, it's also important for men to do these things, but it's more important for women. That's a great question. Sunlight, I started this year ago and have improved my sleep huge. All right, Sue. Walking, yeah, walking. What about adrenals stress? What about adrenals re-stress cause this is me? Because this is me. Oh, okay. Yeah, so as we age and as we're women and we reach menopause, well, what happens is those beautiful little ovaries kind of like shut their doors and now the adrenals take over. So here's the real deal. We have to know that we're going to be more stressed than normal because the adrenals take over and now they've got like a heavy lifting to do. So we actually have to, over the age of 45, be even double downing on stress management because we're going to feel more stress and we're going to be more inflamed. That's what happens. So it's okay. We know this. Okay. We're wise women. We know this. Okay. Well, now we need to double down on stress management. There's a lot of ways to do that. All right. Being outside in nature would be one very important one. Getting your good sleep would be the other very important one. There's a bunch of others as well. But those would be very important. So yes, the adrenals do play a part. Absolutely. Because when the adrenals are down, guess what else goes down? Thyroid. Because thyroid goes, oh, well, the adrenals are down. I better go in conservation mode because the adrenals can't handle it. So then the thyroid goes down. So that's not good because that's your metabolism. So hopefully that's answered. If you have any more questions, you can for sure ask. Can you remind me of the blue light blocking glasses brand? I'd love a coupon code. Yeah. So yes, I will actually send it to everybody because I'm really excited about partnering with this company. I believe everything about them. They have high integrity. I use them myself. They do work. There's a lot that don't, I have to say. There's some fake ones out there. This one here is the real deal. So I will send that. Yeah. Yes. And not only that, I don't know if they're here, but I have these yellow ones too that you guys have seen me wear. So I wear ones when I'm on the computer to protect my eyeballs from retina damage, so that I don't have to wear glasses as I get older. I'm preventing that. And also I flip them over from the yellow ones during the day to the red ones at night. So I'll send you the ones that I wear all the time and the ones I recommend. In fact, I'm getting them for my whole family. And so I think it's great for the whole family. Cause again, like we need to do some work here. We need to make an impact. And so I'm here sharing this information. We can share the information, but it's like, what are you going to do with it? Knowledge is nothing until you take action. And if you take action and you also help your family, well, now you're doubling the action. And I think we need more of this. And I know that you guys are here and I know you can do it. Thyroid. Oh, okay. So thyroid. Yeah, I work a lot with thyroid. In fact, I've had really good success. I'll have to interview her. We were able to actually heal her thyroid, which is quite difficult for some people. For her, we did the right things, and yes, we were able to heal it. So when it comes to thyroid, there's a lot of things going on. The first thing is people miss is leptin. So if you're 20 or more pounds overweight and you're thinking it's just thyroid, it's not. It's actually higher up in the thyroid panel, the thyroid pyramid. It's actually leptin. So we need to get leptin working, a hormone, which is the master hormone, before we even get thyroid, because the leptin talks to the thyroid. So if you're 20 or more pounds overweight, we need to get leptin working and not just, you're going too low with just the thyroid. Okay, because it's actually leptin. And leptin is ghrelin's counterpart. So if you can't really tell when you're hungry or full, you're not really sure, that means you need to fix leptin. When you do, then everything can start to work again. Adrenals, thyroid, hypothalamus, everything. Right? So it's the leptin. So if we were working together, I would actually test your leptin to see, is it leptin? Oh, it's not leptin. Okay, well, let's look at thyroid. What's going on with the thyroid? And so then I would do a deeper dive. But the number one thing that you want to think about with thyroid is, first of all, if you're stressed, manage stress. Second one is soy is contraindicated. All soy, even fermented soy, is contraindicated. Third one is heavy metals. Remember, mercury takes the place of iodine in the thyroid. So part of your detox would be the right type of heavy metal detox, which I've done a lot. So that would be the other one. Thyroid, when it comes to emotion, is when's it going to be my turn? So you're the giver. You think that you're maybe taking care of yourself, but you're probably giving more than you probably should give more to yourself. And it may seem like, yeah, but it feels selfish. Actually, it's selfish not to give to yourself, because what about the little girl inside of you? What about that little girl that says, wait a minute, like, what about me? You're giving to everybody else but me, but don't I matter? Yeah, you do matter. You matter a lot. That little girl is there. Okay. And so we got to take care of the little girl, which is yourself. It's not selfish. It's actually self-care, and it's 100% mandatory. So those are some tips that you can take away. And if you want more information, just book a call and we can go deeper and actually fix this thing for good. Any other questions? These are great. Was this helpful out of 1 to 10, 10 being, yeah, it was actually a good use of my time for 15 minutes, or like 1 was like, whoa, I'll never be on Michelle's webinars ever again because she's super boring. You can put it, Tracy.
Can you elaborate on the red light? In the evening, you said that you used a red light in the room, like.
Yeah. So red light has been, so red light, what would constitute red light? Well, you could do salt light candles. I don't know if you can see it, but salt light candles would be considered red light. Candles, like actual candles, fire would be red light. Candles, fire, salt light candles. You can get red lamps. So what happens is during the day, for those that live in like cold countries and they don't get very much light, they put like the regular like blue, they get these special light bulbs that mimic the sun during the day, and then at night, 2 hours before bed, they will take them out and then put the red light in. So you can get red light, what do you call it? Light bulbs. You can get salt light candles. You can get candles. I have all those, and I have, for me, I wear my blue light blocking glasses 2 hours before bed, and they're actually sexy. I take them out when I go out, and they look good. I look like a movie star. It's kind of cool. I feel like a movie star, but they're sexy looking. It doesn't disrupt circadian rhythm. So that's what I mean. Yeah. What you don't want to do is put the bright light on. You don't want to be looking at a screen. Those are blue, or your phone. The longer you do that, the more you're destroying melatonin. And melatonin is your #1 sleep hormone. Melatonin is your #1 antioxidant that guards against cancer. It also helps prevent, the COVID outbreaks. They did studies on that. They were low melatonin candidates. So yeah, melatonin is critical for immune. Yeah. So Lisa's on the call. Great info. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for joining. So yeah, if it was helpful, then shoot me a 10 or a 9 or an 8 in the chat. If it wasn't helpful, shoot me a 1 so that I can get back to work and maybe improve it for, do a better talk for next time, because I'm always looking at striving to be better. So shoot me okay, so we got a 10 from Lisa. Thanks, Lisa. I'm going to be doing these once a month. So just keep your eye open on, some future topics, but and I'm open to new topics, but really it's all about optimizing your health and learning about the truth and making it super easy. Super. Thanks, Lisa. Okay. So that's great. If there's no other questions, then again, the gift to you is if anyone wants a call, we can do a quick little call. I can also offer that cheat sheet that we looked at earlier. I can hand that off to you so you can actually start to do your own checklist with what I've talked about. That cheat sheet, this one. You can get a copy of that if you want. Just shoot me a message and I can get that to you so you can start to track, because what you track, you know, you get to see that it's working or not working. So anyways, thanks for your call and thanks for joining in, and hopefully that's been helpful. I'll get the replay up for anybody who you think would be interested in this, and we will see you next month, and we'll talk to you before then. Okay, have a good rest of the day.
Sorry, Michelle, I couldn't put anything in the chat for some reason. It was really good information.
Well, thanks, Bev. It's really nice to see you.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah. Anyone else? Thank you. Yeah. Bye, Sue. Bye, Genevieve. Good.
See you, Michelle.
Okay, see you.